Thank you so much for joining us. It's really great to have you here. I have lots of questions, of course, regarding the MotoGP 2023. They will be back in Mandalika, Lombok. And we know that this is one of our highly anticipated events this year. And with the upcoming, MotoGP Mandalika just around the corner, can you tell us how does Injourney plan to support and promote MotoGP Mandalika this year?
So one of our purpose, our remit in Journey is to develop destinations. So develop new destinations for tourism. So as we know, we have Bali as our jewel up until now, but we need to develop other destinations in Indonesia in order to elevate our economy. So from one event such as MotoGP that we held in Mandalika, we know that the economic impact that we had last year from one event is 4.5 trillion rupiah. So the economic impact itself is huge. So event is not just an event for the sake of event, but it is actually a catalyst for destination development, and it has the economic impact and multiplier effect from the event, as well as it's a destination branding that will cascade into nation branding. So it has a very, very pivotal purposes, this event, and we have to see the long-term benefit of the event.
Right. Well, this is the second year, of course, for Indonesia to host the MotoGP, and probably Injourney learned a lot as well from last year. But what makes this year MotoGP different from the previous year? And then, what makes Mandalika attractive as well as a tourist destination for motorcycle racing fans, but more than just for them, but also for the domestic and also international tourists?
Of course, there's some improvement from last year in terms of, firstly, infrastructure. So as we know, last year when we actually held the MotoGP, the infrastructure was newly developed in Mandalika. I mean, even the road was, a week before the race, everything was there, and the circuit itself, even 3 days before the circuit, I was there. It wasn't, it was ready 3 days before the race for the international homologation for the racers, and everything was last minute in terms of the readiness of our infrastructure, accommodation, amenities, facilities for the area. But this year, of course, there's quite a lot of improvement from that. We have of course, the infrastructure has improved in terms of the circuit itself. We have built a few things that will make the viewers, the spectators experience better. We've built a bridge so that we can walk from one part of the circuit to another a little bit more easily, a bit more smoothly. We've taken into account accessibility for kind of older people, kids, accessibility.
Yeah, the other thing that is, from what I heard, that there will be some kind of events. There will be stage as well at the MotoGP event, but what are those special programs and other supporting events that are organized by Injourney to welcome the Mandalika 2023 through MotoGP?
For our opening, we will have Putri Aryani as our opening singer to sing our national anthem, and this will be aired all over the world. So there will be global exposure of Mandalika, of Indonesia, in the grid ceremony, and this will be aired in 200 plus countries, 122 media partners, and also we also have a riders parade just before the race, so where the racers will be, we will provide sort of like an open truck, and then the racers will be on the open truck, and we will ride around the circuit. So again, that's a global exposure where we can see our beautiful circuit internationally, and as well as, of course, the natural beauty of Mandalika in Indonesia.
So you also earlier mentioned about how this event also going to support these small business enterprises, the community of local Lombok itself, and how do you envision MotoGP Mandalika benefiting from Lombok's tourism industry, the communities, and also the MSME in the region during these exciting days?
Yes. So, for instance, accommodation has completely is completely full. The occupancy of accommodation is almost completely full now. We've starting to requests many requests to move to Mataram, Senggigi, even Bali. So there is a big demand for accommodation. That's one. Of course, small business owners, the cafes, the warung all over Mandalika and surrounding Lombok will benefit from this event. Secondly, of course, the international exposure for tourists, the domestic exposure as well that we're aiming for. So a lot of economic impact as well as the multiplier effect from the economic impact will last a long time.
I see. I guess that also fit into the agenda of building a sustainable tourism industry, as you mentioned. Now, in addition to the sport tourism itself, are there any other strategies that Indjourney does to support the tourism in Indonesia?
Yes, of course. Being a tourism holding of a state-owned enterprise, our task is immense. Our task is massive. We have, of course, under our portfolio, our sub-holdings, who are very pivotal for tourism, the airports, the destination development, all the assets, the attraction management, sarina, retail, hotels, that's very pivotal. So our aim, of course, to ensure that all of our sub-holding is working in a very financially sound, accountable manner. That's one. Secondly, we have to build an ecosystem of tourism whereby connectivity is added at the forefront. So we are building a blueprint of connectivity, international and domestic, in order to utilize most of our asset in conjunction with the Ministry of Tourism. So to increase the number of international tourists as well as domestic tourists. So that's our second role. Our third role is to develop the destinations. As I mentioned earlier, Bali is our jewel, but we need to develop other jewels, our hidden gems in Indonesia. So we need to ensure that the development is sustainable and long-term, because this takes effort. So if we look at other benchmark from other countries, you go to Japan, you want to go to Tokyo, Osaka, Kyoto, so that's what we need to do for Indonesia.
Thank you so much, Ms. Maya Watono. Thank you for sharing this insight into the preparation and excitement surrounding MotoGP Mandalika 2023. It's definitely an event that cannot be missed. Have a fantastic day.